Sapase YouTube, or should I say Sakafet YouTube? Tell me which one you guys prefer.
Please don't give me hype. Write my name.
But I am so happy to be back with you another Saturday, wherever you may be. Thank you for welcoming me into your space, whether that be your room, your car, your house, through your phone, through your television, through your laptop, wherever you are. Thank you for allowing me to be there with you. But today's video is going to be very different. Currently, I am sitting on the floor of my room because I had a video planned and it just didn't feel right with everything that was going on, especially as it relates to international students and how we are being, I would say, toyed with. And I wanted to, seeing that this platform is also one in which I discuss issues that are pertinent to international students and how those issues affect us, I decided to come here today and freely speak my mind or give my 2 cents on the situation. So recently there was this whole fiasco, I would say, with international students having to go back home if their schools went online for the entire fall 2020 semester. Now, with that came a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, a lot of what is going to happen for me next for many international students. And a lot of schools began creating what was called or is called a hybrid system of teaching, in which part of the course would be done face-to-face and part would be done online. So that kind of, I would say, maybe alleviated some of the anxiety for some of the students. However, there was still like major anxiety for many students whose schools did not create a hybrid system of teaching. And so people continued, making speculations. Would the policies last? International student offices began to send out emails to calm down students and hold Zoom meetings to give students the full information, and people were getting ready to pack their bags and go home. And then Harvard and MIT sued the government for its policy. And when they say l'argent qu'a parlé, money talks, that is so true. Because as a result, that policy was rescinded, or the government, in essence, took it back. Now, how do I feel about the situation? You really want to know? You really want to know? I'm going to tell you. As an international student myself, and I'm speaking within an American context, it might be different where you are, it might be similar, but because I do not have that information, because that is not my experience, I cannot speak so freely on other countries. But within an American context, international students have impacted the American economy significantly. When you look at sectors such as technology or engineering, architecture, healthcare, a lot of international students have not only given up their lives back home to study here, but even after graduation, they may often end up working within the American system, whether it be for a short time, such as for the OPT, whether it be long term after receiving a work permit, and so on and so forth. Regardless of what way international students end up working here, they do significantly contribute to the American economy, not just in terms of work, but in terms of being within the American school system. Majority of American institutions have a significant number, and I'm saying significant a lot because it's significant, have a lot or many international students. They come to our regions, to our countries, and they promote their institutions and tell you that they will give you the best education possible, that the institution is diverse, that this nation is a nation of opportunities, that the state you are going to is one that is poised for growth, whether it be in your job market or whether it be poised for growth in terms of globalization and being able to maneuver afterwards from that institution to employment in any country that you choose. Whatever it may be, they come to us and they tell us that if you come to our institutions, we will take care of you. And I feel like we are toyed with. And that is one of the realest things that you come to terms with as an international student. That you are not indispensable to the country that you are in. No matter how much you contribute, you are not a citizen of that country. And so you must never be too complacent or too confident in that country's systems, or too confident in the institutions that say they will protect you, because at the end of the day, regardless of what institution you go to, they must eventually bow down to the law. Look at the policy that was put in place. No school could protect us because no school is above the government. And we have to come to terms with that. And in my own journey, although my circumstance was a bit different because MSU had already declared that they would be going back to face-to-face classes in the fall and discussing how they would maneuver or go about that, the policy still impacted many of my friends who I would have to console and say, don't worry, in all things give thanks. But when you have decided in your mind that you are coming to an institution to further yourself, and you say, okay, after I furthered myself, I will ensure that I get an OPT, or I will do a master's program within the United States of America in order to further myself. But now you are being kind of targeted. You really question everything. And being in the US just gives so much anxiety. Like, it gives so much. I'm sorry, I'm even getting a bit emotional because I'm not just thinking about myself. I'm thinking of all my friends and even some family, people that I consider family, who have had experiences of not just being toyed with that policy, but being affected by systemic racism, which is within this country. And it's just a lot, because the disadvantage of being international is not that you are just international, but if you are of this skin color, right, or darker, maybe 1 or 2 shades lighter, you still are affected by your skin color, your accent, the fact that you cannot work off campus, so you are restricted in so many ways. And I'm not saying that those restrictions, it's not the country's right to have those restrictions in place. Those restrictions are fine, because at the end of the day, every country will look out for its citizens and that kind of thing. So I understand not allowing us to work off campus, but getting away from that, we are impacted by systemic racism just as much as an African American is, because there is no differentiation of African American or Caribbean or African or whatever it may be, right? We are all Black people in the eyes of the system. And so you go through situations where you encounter at those same institutions professors who are racist, or should I say racially biased. You encounter statements that are racist to encounter questions that sound racist. For example, I had my own incident in which I was asked, and nothing about me looks like an athlete. But I was giving a tour. I was an orientation leader last summer, 2019, and I was giving a tour. And in the middle of the tour, not only was I asked, and I think this was just sheer ignorance, but not only was I asked, in what do we live in Dominica, but I was also asked if I came to MSU because I am an athlete. And when I asked that question, the woman responded that my people, whatever that is, my people, usually get into university because we are very athletic. Nothing about me looks athletic. So not only are we questioned about how we speak, or told to speak better, or asked to slow down, or asked if our name can be pronounced differently so that others can understand, but we are also toyed with in terms of the system and everything. And so being an international student is very hard. It's very, oh my god, like, it's oftentimes kind of a weight on your shoulders, but it's not anybody's fault, particularly because you chose to go to that other country. But it doesn't mean that you are not impacted even within that choice, because it's one thing to choose to go to a country because you feel that there are opportunities awaiting you, but it's also the fact that you have to deal with so much. And I wish somebody told me, honestly, I wish somebody told me that coming to the United States is not a bed of roses, is not. And the perception that we have as many international students is we often think that, oh, don't worry, man, everything will work itself out. Yes, everything works itself out, which is very true, but you encounter many difficulties along that way. And so I just want to say, and I just feel like encouraging every international student out there, I'm looking directly at you. We are going to make it wherever you are. This situation may be similar in other countries where you feel like you really don't know what's going on. And not just that, we also have Corona to worry about and how that affects our lives on a daily basis along with the rest of the world. But with God, all things are possible. I'm going to say it again. With God, all things are possible. We will get through this. We are getting through it. We are more than conquerors. And I'm speaking to you wherever you are. You are more than a conqueror. You are wonderfully and beautifully made. You are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath. God orders your steps. You are a go-getter. You will continue to thrive. You will continue to excel regardless of every stumbling block that is put in your way, because the stone that the builders rejected is going to become and will be the head cornerstone. You are a queen. You are a king. And regardless of what the system throws at us as international students, we are going to make it. So thank you. This video was not scripted. I just felt like speaking what was on my heart, and this was actually very therapeutic for me. If anything I said here touched you, or can touch someone you know, share it with them. Please remember to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Hey guys, if you like this video and would like to see more content from me, please remember to subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you.